When I first started wanting to do hair, I was at home. I went to Cal State Northridge. I met my husband at the time. I moved out here to Sacramento, and I will go to corporate, go to work, come back home, do hair, go to corporate, come back home, do hair. And one day, something told me, what are you doing? You're working, you're 9 to 5, coming home and doing hair from 6 to 11. What are you doing? Just do hair full time. And I decided at that moment that that's what I was going to do. If this is what I was going to do, I was going to be the best at it. I was going to take it to a totally different level. Like I'm going to be told it's going to be different. And when I made that decision, I went and I started working with Tracy. This is when knowing your why come into place, okay? I was the youngest, one of the youngest in the salon, didn't have a license, was Tracy's assistant, was up underneath her all the time. So I got called, I was called gopher, I was called kissing ass, I was called all type of stuff. I mean, that salon, we used to fight. Me and this one girl at the top, we used to always just go at it. It was always issues. You know, it was so many reasons why I should have walked away. Tow man came up to the shop. I'm looking. They was like, sorry, it's a tow man over there towing your car. And I'm like, oh, they just taking it to the shop, knowing that it was the repo man. House going up for repo. My mom and my sister had to save me out of that, buy my house, refinance it, put it in their name. This is all things that make you want to say, you know what, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go get me a job because things aren't working. But I stayed. I grind out. I went to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, was Tracy's assistant from 8. She took her last client at 5. I'm answering the phone. I stayed there from 6 to sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, taking clients, building my clientele, taking clients. I still have my books from how it built over time. Finally, I went and I got my license. I swear, I walked inside that salon and I was like, too legit to quit, because at the time, I was the only one without a license, you know? And I'm like, y'all can't tell me nothing now. Tracy moved downtown. I went downtown with her for a little bit, but then I ran her salon. She decided to close down that salon. And I said, God, what do you want me to do now? What do I do now? He told me, go into a Caucasian salon. Learn how they do things. I went into a Caucasian salon for a year. So I took what I learned for 5 years from Tracy, took what I learned 1 year from the other salon, and I opened up my salon. Just me, little boutique. And I did it for almost a year. Mind you, I always had this vision that it was going to be bigger. And I had my salon in LA with my sister, but I knew something's going to be different. That year, I get a phone call. Rob, hey sis, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. And it was a nighttime. I think it was late, it was night. Because I was in bed and he said something woke him up. And I think it was the next morning, early in the morning. And he said, I need to meet with you. And I'm like, okay. He said, I have a business opportunity. And he said he wanted to open up a cosmetology school. And he wanted me to be one of the owners. Mind you, what if I would have quit? What if I would have walked away? What if I would have let the commotion inside the salon steer me away? What if I let the fighting, what if I let me losing my car, losing my house, losing electricity? What if I would allow the things, life, come and take me off my why? What if? Would I be here today? Would I have the opportunity that I have today? So do you guys understand how important for you to understand your why? How important it is for you to be rooted? Have a vision, make sure it's clear, and everything else will rise to that decision. It's that simple. Like, honestly, like, it's that simple. You guys can be, y'all can have, you guys can do anything you guys want to do. This is a little girl from South Central LA. Working class parents. I was never handed anything. But everything I ever wanted, I worked hard for it. I had a clear vision and I went towards it. And then when things didn't line up for me, when I didn't know the way, the how, I promise you, it always just comes. It's just like, it just shows up. I didn't have a car. I worked my butt off for a few months, and I went down to LA to my mom and my sister, and I said, okay, Mom, I just want me a little small car. She took me to the BMW dealership, and I just wanted me a 325i. That's all I wanted, and I was gonna work my way up. Even though on my vision board, I had a 745. 745 was one of the biggest cars, sedans that BMW made. And my sister said, wait. She said, what's the best car you guys have on the lot right now? Like, what's the biggest car, the best car you have on the lot? So I'm like, okay, we're not here for you. We're here for me. Let me get this car so I can go. Well, the guy took me, my sister, and my mom on the roof. And I remember being in the elevator, and I remember me being like, okay, let's just get this over with. Tanya, get your car. Let Mama, you know what I want, right? Mind you, I just got a car repo. She took me on the roof, and the guy said, those are all our most expensive cars. My sister said to the car person, the salesman, we want this car for this amount. How are you gonna make it happen? And so the guy walked away. He was like, man, I don't know. And so we walked downstairs, and the guy did his thing, and I'm like, I'm still trying to pull my mom, like, Mom, come look at this one. This is what I want. And the guy said, okay, we made it happen. So I said, okay, cool, Tanya, you got your car, let's go back. Tanya said, that's your car. I said, what? She said, that's your car. My sister taught me, and my mother, never be afraid to have high payments in anything that makes you work harder. That's gonna make you work harder. That's gonna make you wanna make it. That's gonna make you wanna get up and hustle. That's gonna make you go out there and get the clientele. She put me in that car that one time I always had nice cars. You understand what I'm saying? Your vision will always line up to what you want. So even though my mind, my outer mind, right, was saying I was going to get something different, my subconscious mind that really runs things already had a plan on something totally different. It works every time. Once you master your subconscious mind, anything is possible. I could go on and on and on and on about how things just play out. I can show you how I manifest my husband. And I'm not lying. I was in a terrible relationship. Terrible. And I used to say all the time, oh, when I leave you, I'm gonna find me somebody, he's gonna be a working man. I said it. I said a working man just like my daddy. He gonna remind me of my daddy. He gonna be tall. He gonna be dark. Like I had it in my vision, y'all. I'm not lying to you guys. One day, I walked outside and there was a man. He had his little Levi jeans on, kind of tight, the little yellow shirt with the stripes, the hard hat, tall, walking down the street. And a few weeks later, I ended up getting an edible, and then we didn't know who it came from. An edible arrangement. And we didn't know who it came from. And so one day, like a month later, 2 months later, he ended up saying to one of my employees, did y'all ever get the arrangement, the fruit basket? And my cousin was like, wait, you're the one who sent that? And he was like, yeah. And so I just sent a little note saying thank you for the da-da-da. No, my cousin said, well, who is it for? Like, which ladies, who is it for? And he said, for the owner. I was like, okay. So I wrote him a little note saying thank you. We met up. We've been married for 7 years now. I'm not lying. God has something so much more for you. You got to trust the process. Get into the process. Flow with the process. And know that the process is going to lead you to exactly what you vision.